Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, actually. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to Criminology 1023, which is the Introduction to Criminology course. First of all, this course is going to have lectures from two professors, myself and Dr. Jeannie Kaufman. She will actually be doing the second presentation, so you can get to know a little bit about each of us. But first of all, let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is Dr. Joseph Rukas. I've actually been with the Arkansas State Criminology Department for the last year. I come to Arkansas State after having completed a master's degree at Cornell University, and I've recently completed my PhD at the University of Florida. While I do a variety of research, most of my research focuses on issues involving prisoner reentry or jail reentry, as well as issues of crime and social justice. As this is your first criminology course, I kind of want to let you know what you're getting into. First of all, criminologists do a variety of things, and our work also takes a variety of forms. However, criminologists have one goal that unites us all. We want to make the world a better place. And we do this, again, in many different ways. First of all, let's take a look at what criminology is. According to Merriam-Webster, criminology is the study of crime, criminals, and the punishment of criminals. Now, yes, that definition can sound a little depressing. However, it encompasses a variety of different facets. And let me just run down some of them. First of all, as the definition infers, we actually take a look at violent crime and property crime. We look at the dynamics of it. We look at things that are graffitied, everything from something that's graffitied to serial homicide. And actually, our department will probably be offering a course in serial homicide up and coming for those that want to study that. However, we do more than that. We take a look not only at crime, but we take a look at what causes crime. Because our goal isn't, obviously, as criminologists, we don't want to create more criminals. Instead, we want to prevent crime from happening. So we take a look at what causes crime. And this is something that you'll study in depth when you actually take your course in criminology, which is a course in criminological theory. When we look at theory, we look at two factors. Now, most people concentrate on just the first, which is the individual, because we want to have we want to hold an individual accountable, and we want to look at personal responsibility. We do, in theory, take a look at that, but other things that we look at in theory are what we call environmental factors. And what environmental factors consist of is things that surround an individual that might lead them to criminal activity or make criminal activity more likely. This area tends to focus a lot on issues of race and class, because we have found that people that are in poverty are more likely to end up in situations that have them interacting with the criminal justice system. And actually, this is something we're going to be emphasizing throughout the program that you're enrolled in, and we'll actually be touching upon that a little bit later in this course as well. We, as criminologists, feel that just looking at an individual is not enough. We have to actually look at an individual in context. Other areas that we study, we take a look at policing. And in this course, you'll actually get a brief history of how we came to policing and policing strategies that are part of the United States today. As criminologists, we like to study what works and what doesn't work, and we also like to know why. Another area we look at is something we broadly term corrections. And by corrections, we need actually the whole criminal justice system. This encompasses the courts, the process from somebody actually coming into the system from arrest, going through the courts, and if sentenced, the time that they actually spend in correctional facilities, and finally, and very importantly, what happens when people get out of those facilities, so that we actually don't create a situation where people reoffend. Other areas we look at are terrorism. That's actually been a big focus actually over the last decade or so. And finally, one area that we also and we're going to focus on this a bit in this course, is the notion of prevention. Many times as criminologists, we actually are very reactive. We go into a situation after a crime has occurred. But another big area of criminology is taking steps to make sure a crime doesn't occur in the first place. And that's something that we feel is very important. Now, one nice thing about criminology is it opens up a world of opportunity. I'm just going to go into a couple of career paths that many of our students that have gone through the Arkansas State University Criminology program have pursued. First of all, this is the one that's most likely, and the one that people think about most, and that's the notion of law enforcement. Now, mind you, law enforcement includes not only officers on patrol, but it also includes backup staff that are in the station that actually provide support to the folks that are on the road. We offer careers in corrections. A number of our students have gone on to become probation and parole officers. We also have a number of our students that are currently working in various correctional facilities. Again, correctional facilities, you can also work in a variety of capacities. Normally the entry-level position is that of a corrections officer. However, with a degree, you'll find it very easy to go advancing into levels of administration and actually levels of management of corrections officers. Another area that many of our students end up in are the courts. Now, criminology, and I'm going to discuss this a little bit more in this lecture, but criminology provides a great entree to law school because as part of criminology, we obviously have to study the law. So going into law school, you actually have a foundation that many times will give you a one-up on many students. Now, keep in mind, when looking at the law, there are two sides. There's the prosecutor, which is what most people tend to think of, but there's also the public defender and defense attorneys. One thing that we have to keep in mind in criminology is we need to focus on both. In order to have a just system, both sides need to be represented. Other areas that you can do in criminology, and then a number of our students have done, actually in the name of prevention, is they've been working for community organizations, a variety. Anything from addiction treatment centers, which, by the way, do a great deal to stop crime from happening, to mentoring organizations that work with youth so that they have the tools they need so that they don't end up in the criminal justice system. Work with these organizations can be just as powerful as the work that are done by officers on the street, simply because you are preventing crime from happening in the first place. Students as well have ended up with a number of federal and state agencies. We've had students that have ended up with the Central Intelligence Agency. Other areas that might be of pursuit might be the FBI. However, criminologists are of use in many different other departments in the federal government, ranging everything from the Census Bureau, the Department of State, to the Department of Commerce. So your degree actually gives you the ability to open a number of different doors. And finally, if you want to end up being a geek like me, you can go to graduate school or actually go to law school. There are great criminology programs. However, a criminology degree does not limit you to just a criminology program. It actually opens you up to degrees across the social sciences. Because the skills we learn in criminology are easily transferable among disciplines. Also, it opens up doors for degrees in the hard sciences as well. It's just a matter of what you want and what you want to do with it. The one thing I want to emphasize is a criminology degree gives you a wonderful degree of flexibility. Finally, we have folks that end up in a variety of fields, everything from a business executive, and in this case, we also have a number of loss prevention officers that work in the retail sector. The one thing I want to emphasize is that a criminology degree provides you with a great foundation. So whether you're looking to advance your career, start a new career, or looking to do future studies, criminology is a field that will let you go wherever you want. And finally, concluding, I'd like to let you know that you are on the first step of your journey. Crim 1023 is the introduction course. We will be following this by a number of courses that are going to build on the skills that we teach you in this class. And I, and Dr. Kaufman, I'm sure in her video as well, would like to give you a sincere welcome. We're happy you're here, and welcome to Introduction to Criminology.